Welcome back to Who Died Today USA channel. In the past few days, we have received somber news about the passing of extraordinary talents. Today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Additionally, we will recap the stars we have recently lost. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. For over 2 decades, she made America laugh from the middle of a cornfield. But behind the scenes, Lulu Roman's journey was one of quiet battles, remarkable transformation, and unwavering faith. Lulu Roman, the beloved entertainer whose warmth, wit, and powerful voice touched millions, has peacefully passed at the age of 78 in Bellingham, Washington. Best known for her unforgettable role on the iconic country comedy series Hee Haw, Lulu lit up screens from 1969 through the mid-1990s, offering a kind of joy that felt like home. Born Bertha Louise Habel in Dallas, Texas, Lulu's early years were marked by hardship. Raised in an orphanage and struggling with health challenges from a young age, she found comfort in humor and music. It was this spark, part mischief, part miracle, that would one day carry her to national fame. Audiences first fell in love with her comedic timing, but they stayed for her heart. Beyond Hee Haw, she graced gospel stages, recorded a dozen beloved albums, and performed with legends like Dolly Parton and George Jones. Her contributions earned her a Dove Award and a place in the Country Gospel Music Hall of Fame. Later in life, Lulu faced some of her most personal challenges. At one point, weighing nearly 400 pounds, she experienced a dramatic health transformation, shedding over 200 pounds, regaining her mobility, and crediting her faith and inner strength for the turnaround. "Not only can I walk," she once said with a smile, "but I can run. Not fast, but I can run." Lulu Roman's legacy is one of laughter, light, and unshakable grace. She wasn't just a performer. She was a testament to the healing power of hope, reminding us all that no matter where we start, it's how we carry on that defines us.
He has this thing about topsoil.
British are coming! The British are coming!
Ruth Buzzi, the legendary comic actress whose unforgettable characters brought laughter to generations, passed peacefully at her Texas home on May 1st, 2025, at the age of 88. Her passing followed a long and courageous journey with Alzheimer's disease. Born in 1936 in Westerly, Rhode Island, Ruth began performing at just 19, quickly winning hearts with her timing, expression, and playful wit. She rose to national fame on Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, where she became one of only 4 regular cast members during its iconic 6-year run. Her beloved character, Gladys Ormsby, armed with a quick tongue and a heavy handbag, left a permanent mark on American comedy. Ruth's talents extended far beyond one stage. She appeared in The Carol Burnett Show, The Dean Martin Show, and Sesame Street, and lent her voice to animated favorites like the Berenstain Bears. Over the decades, her ability to merge physical comedy with emotional warmth earned her 5 Emmy nominations and a Golden Globe Award. Behind the scenes, Ruth faced challenges with quiet strength. After a series of strokes in 2022, her health declined, yet her sense of humor and joy remained. With her husband of nearly 48 years, Kent Perkins, by her side, she continued to bring smiles to those around her, even in her final days. Ruth Buzzy wasn't just a performer. She was a joyful spirit who used laughter to lift the world. Her legacy lives on in every punchline, every smile, and every memory she gave us. She had fun making us laugh, and oh, how we laughed with her.
The 50,000 years of human history.
On Apollo 11.
Now join me on a journey back.
Breaking news. Today, we revisit the extraordinary journey of a Hollywood legend whose humility, resilience, and devotion to storytelling have touched the world for decades. Tom Hanks, two-time Academy Award winner, cultural icon, and one of the most trusted faces in entertainment, continues to inspire millions, not only with his roles, but with the quiet strength he brings to every chapter of his life. How has Tom Hanks influenced your view of cinema or inspired you personally? Let us know in the comments below as we take you inside the life and legacy of one of Hollywood's most enduring stars. Born on July 9, 1956, in Concord, California, Tom Hanks was raised in a broken but loving home. His early life was far from glamorous, marked by frequent moves and a deep sense of solitude, but these formative experiences helped shape the grounded, observant, and emotionally perceptive actor the world would come to admire. After studying theater in community college and eventually transferring to California State University, Hanks broke into television in the 1980s with the sitcom Bosom Buddies. But it was the 1988 film Big that marked his true breakout moment. With it, he charmed audiences and earned his first Academy Award nomination. What followed was a meteoric rise. Philadelphia, 1993, and Forrest Gump, 1994, brought back-to-back Oscar wins and sealed his place among the greatest actors of his generation. Hanks went on to star in a string of beloved classics, Saving Private Ryan, Castaway, Catch Me If You Can, The Terminal, and Captain Phillips, among others. His voice became iconic as Woody in the Toy Story franchise, and his collaborations with directors like Steven Spielberg and Robert Zemeckis showcased a deep commitment to meaningful cinema. But behind the red carpets and golden statues was a man quietly confronting some very human challenges. In 2013, Hanks revealed he had been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, a result, in part, of fluctuating weight changes for film roles and a busy lifestyle. Since then, he has become a model of health awareness, overhauling his diet and committing to regular physical activity. In a 2024 interview, he shared that at 68, he feels healthier than he did in his 30s, attributing that to a more focused lifestyle and having time to care for himself after his children had grown. Still, public concern flared in late 2024 when Hanks appeared on Saturday Night Live, and some fans noticed a subtle tremor in his hands. Social media buzzed with speculation about his condition. Hanks addressed the matter gracefully, reassuring fans that while aging brings its own quirks, he felt strong, vital, and energized. And true to form, he turned the concern into an opportunity to encourage others to take their health seriously. Tom's recent creative pursuits have also shown no signs of slowing. In 2025, he premiered The Moonwalkers, an immersive, narrative-driven film project at Space Center Houston that explores the Apollo missions through a modern lens. The film blends real NASA footage with storytelling magic, all narrated by Hanks himself, a lifelong space enthusiast. At the same time, he lent his voice to The Americas, a sweeping BBC natural history documentary that allowed him to step into the shoes of Sir David Attenborough and guide viewers through the wild beauty of our planet. Yet not every recent project has been without controversy. In the upcoming film Here, Hanks's likeness was digitally de-aged using AI technology, drawing criticism from some in the industry. Actress Lisa Kudrow publicly questioned the ethics of such technology, fearing it could displace working actors. Hanks responded thoughtfully, emphasizing the importance of innovation when handled responsibly, but also reinforcing that nothing replaces the soul of a real performance. Beyond the screen, Tom Hanks has remained a moral compass for many in and outside of Hollywood. Known for writing handwritten letters to fans, quietly supporting countless charities, and never seeking attention for his kindness, he embodies what it means to lead with integrity. His memoirs, novels, and public appearances all point to a man who sees himself less as a celebrity and more as a storyteller with a purpose. And perhaps that is what makes Tom Hanks so beloved, not just his talent, but his humanity. He reminds us that kindness and consistency matter, that vulnerability is not a weakness, and that longevity in Hollywood does not require scandal or spectacle, but sincerity. So, what is next for Tom Hanks? While he has not announced retirement, he has hinted at slowing down to enjoy time with his wife Rita Wilson and their grandchildren. He continues to write, develop projects, and mentor young talent behind the scenes. Wherever his path leads, his influence will continue to ripple through the industry and the hearts of audiences worldwide. As we celebrate the life and legacy of Tom Hanks, we are reminded that greatness is not just about awards or accolades. It is about living a life of purpose, with humility, warmth, and unwavering authenticity. What is your favorite Tom Hanks film? Share your memories and thoughts below. And if this tribute inspired you, like and subscribe for more stories that celebrate the artists who shape our world with heart.
Him sent to them in France, and they declared it a Cannes classic and screened it again.
Ted Kotcheff was a remarkable filmmaker whose creative spirit spanned continents, genres, and generations. Born April 7, 1931, in Toronto to Bulgarian-Macedonian parents, Ted began his extraordinary career in Canadian television before finding his voice on international stages. His journey through drama, satire, and suspense reflected a deep love for storytelling in all its forms. He first gained wide acclaim with the haunting Australian classic Wake in Fright, 1971, followed by the Golden Bear-winning The Apprenticeship of Duddy Kravitz, 1974, which he called the cornerstone of his life's work. But it was First Blood, 1982, that brought Ted to the heart of Hollywood. That film introduced the world to Sylvester Stallone's John Rambo and offered a gripping portrait of a veteran in crisis. Though it became a major hit, Ted chose not to direct its sequels, standing by his principles and belief in the story's human core. Ted's range was astounding. He made audiences laugh with Fun with Dick and Jane and Weekend at Bernie's, while exploring the darker edges of American culture with North Dallas 40 and Uncommon Valor. In the late 90s, he found a new rhythm in television, becoming executive producer for over a decade on Law & Order, SVU, helping shape one of the most enduring dramas on American TV. Ted Kotcheff passed away from heart failure on April 10, 2025, at the age of 94 in Mexico. He is remembered not only for the stories he told, but for the empathy he brought to every frame. His legacy is one of quiet brilliance and deep humanity, a director who saw through the lens of compassion and conviction.
I know you go for me.
Clem Burke was more than a drummer. He was the heartbeat behind Blondie's unmistakable sound, a rhythmic force who helped shape the landscape of modern rock. Born Clement Anthony Buzowski in Bayonne, New Jersey in 1954, Clem picked up the drums at 14 and never looked back. He wasn't just keeping time, he was creating it, giving life to songs that would define a generation. From the moment he answered an ad in the Village Voice in the 1970s looking for a freak energy drummer, Clem became an essential pillar of Blondie. His rapid-fire, expressive style powered iconic hits like Heart of Glass, Call Me, and Dreaming, and helped the band transition effortlessly between punk, disco, and new wave. The opening bars of Dreaming alone still echo in the memories of millions. But Clem's story didn't stop with Blondie. He played with everyone from the Ramones to Bob Dylan, from Iggy Pop to the Go-Go's, quietly becoming one of the most respected and beloved drummers in rock. In 2006, he and his Blondie bandmates were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Even off stage, Clem was relentless. He participated in an 8-year scientific study exploring the physical demands of drumming, earning an honorary doctorate for his contributions. His playing was as athletic as it was artistic. and his commitment to the craft never wavered. On April 6, 2025, Clem passed away at the age of 70 after a private battle with cancer. His fellow musicians called him a gentleman, a true original, and the kindest soul you'd ever meet. Clem Burke's rhythm may have quieted, but his impact will beat on. In every snare crack, every kick drum, every memory he left behind. Long live the heartbeat of Blondie.
That could replace love's radio.
Mike Berry was a cherished British entertainer whose talents spanned both music and television for over 6 decades. Born Michael Hubert Bourne in Northampton in 1942, he first captured hearts in the early 1960s as a singer with a voice that echoed the spirit of Buddy Holly. His haunting single, Tribute to Buddy Holly, became a defining moment of his musical career, earning him the affectionate nickname, the British Buddy Holly. Berry's success continued with chart-topping hits like Don't You Think It's Time and The Sunshine of Your Smile, the latter co-produced by his friend Chaz Hodges. He toured with future legends such as the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, and his backing band, the Outlaws, featured names who would go on to shape rock history. Yet through it all, Berry remained grounded, warm, witty, and devoted to his craft. While music was his first love, Mike also left a memorable mark on British television. From 1979 to 1981, he delighted children as Mr. Peters in Wurzel Gummidge, and later charmed a new audience as Mr. Spooner in the beloved sitcom Are You Being Served? A role he held until the show's final season in 1985. Remarkably, even in his 80s, Berry continued to perform. His final concert, held in February 2025 at the Half Moon in London, was a sold-out celebration of a life lived on stage. On April 11, 2025, Mike Berry passed away peacefully at his home, with his family by his side. Mike's music and laughter touched countless lives. His legacy is one of joy, endurance, and timeless charm, and his voice, both sung and spoken, will echo fondly in the memories of those who loved him.
Who gives a shit? Okay? My buddy here knows how to talk.
Wingshouser was a powerful and versatile American actor born on December 12, 1947, in Hollywood, California. The son of Oscar-winning writer Dwight Hauser, Wings grew up surrounded by storytelling and the entertainment industry, which would ultimately shape his life's work. Hauser began his acting career in the late 1960s and rose to prominence with his chilling performance as the violent pimp Ramrod in Vice Squad, 1982, a role that showcased his intensity and fearlessness on screen. Over his 5-decade career, Hauser became known for portraying tough, often troubled characters in both film and television. He earned a Spirit Award nomination for Tough Guys Don't Dance and appeared in notable projects like The Young and the Restless, The Insider, Rubber, and acclaimed series including Magnum P.I., Murder, She Wrote, Beverly Hills, 90210, and Criminal Minds. His commitment to every role made him a respected figure among fellow actors and directors alike. Behind the scenes, Wings faced personal and physical challenges with quiet resilience. In the 1970s, he navigated financial hardship while raising his daughter Bright, and in his later years, he lived with chronic lung disease, relying on oxygen support, but never stepping away from his creative spirit. Wingshouser passed peacefully on March 15, 2025, in Los Angeles at the age of 77. He is survived by his wife and creative partner Callie Lily Hauser and his children, including actor Cole Hauser. Wings leaves behind a legacy of grit, art, and unforgettable performances, a true original whose presence will echo through the screens and hearts of those who admired him.
Trucks that roll through town, then checking to see if any water's low.
Cory Gladstone Crew was a cherished Canadian singer, storyteller, and educator whose life and music touched countless hearts across generations. Born on June 7, 1944, in Northern Arm, Newfoundland, and raised in Grand Bank, Cory grew up surrounded by the rhythm of Atlantic waves and the spirit of community, influences that would shape the soulful melodies he would later bring to life. Best known as one half of the beloved folk duo Cory and Trina, Cory toured Newfoundland and Labrador throughout the 1970s to 1990s with his wife and creative partner, Trina Fulford. Their music, especially the timeless classic The Northern Lights of Labrador, captured the heart of a region and gave voice to its people, warm, resilient, and rooted in tradition. Beyond music, Cory was also a devoted teacher, shaping young minds in Alberta and Winnipeg, and retiring in 2021 after a long and respected career in education. Even after Trina's passing in 2007, Cory continued to share their story and legacy, producing tribute recordings and solo performances that celebrated their enduring love and artistic partnership. Cory passed peacefully on February 8, 2025, at the age of 80 after a period of declining health. He was surrounded by his daughter Karina, granddaughter Ella, and the memories of a life beautifully lived. Through every note he played and every story he shared, Cory reminded us of the power of music to connect, comfort, and carry us home. His voice may have quieted, but the song he left behind plays on, gentle, bright, and deeply woven into the cultural fabric of Newfoundland. Peter Basano was a treasured figure in British music, a trombonist, conductor, educator, and author whose life was steeped in history, harmony, and heartfelt dedication. Born in 1945, Peter was a direct descendant of the renowned Basano family of Venetian musicians brought to the English court by King Henry VIII. It was a legacy he not only carried, but enriched with remarkable grace. A gifted musician, Peter studied trombone and voice at the Royal College of Music, eventually returning as a beloved professor and later head of brass. His playing career was illustrious. For 27 years, he served in the trombone section of the Philharmonia Orchestra and performed with esteemed ensembles such as His Majesty's Sagbutts and Cornets, the Gabrieli Consort, and the English Baroque soloists. Yet Peter's talents extended far beyond performance. As a conductor, he brought fresh energy to orchestras, choirs, and brass bands across the UK, nurturing new voices and championing both contemporary and early music. He was known for his deep musical insight, humility, and unwavering support for young musicians. Peter was also a thoughtful author. His memoir, Before the Music Stopped, offers a vivid personal chronicle of professional music making from 1965 to 2000, a loving tribute to a lifetime of creative endeavor. Peter passed peacefully on February 1, 2025, at the age of 79. His legacy lives on in the countless students he mentored, the performances he elevated, and the stories he shared. For those who heard him play or stood under his baton, Peter Basano's music still echoes with warmth, dignity, and a timeless sense of joy. Paul Plushka, the beloved American operatic bass whose resonant voice graced the world's most prestigious stages, passed peacefully on February 3, 2025, in Wilmington, North Carolina. He was 83 and had been experiencing hearing loss in his later years, which led to his eventual retirement from performance. Born in 1941 in the coal mining town of Old Forge, Pennsylvania, Plushka was the son of Ukrainian immigrants and the embodiment of the American dream. From humble beginnings, he rose to become a cornerstone of the Metropolitan Opera, where he sang in an astonishing 1,672 performances across 88 roles, a feat few in the company's long history have ever matched. Plushka's voice was famed for its warmth, clarity, and musical intelligence. He began his career with comic buffo roles, but as his instrument deepened with time, he moved into more dramatic territory, giving unforgettable performances as Boris Godunov, Philip II in Don Carlos, and Mephistopheles in Faust. Still, he never turned away from the charm of character roles like Dulcamara in L'Elysir d'Amour or Falstaff, his personal favorite. Beyond the spotlight, Paul Plushka faced life's hardships with quiet dignity, enduring profound personal loss, yet continuing to give of himself through music. He officially retired in 2012, but returned for encore performances in La Bohème, his artistry never waning. Paul Plushka leaves behind not only a towering legacy of performances, but also the warmth of a voice and spirit that resonated far beyond the opera house. His life's work will echo through generations of music lovers and opera devotees.
Un Américain du Nord français. Un francophone, québécois.
Julian Pulan was a beloved figure in Canadian arts, whose passion, humor, and profound insight shaped Quebec's cultural identity for more than 5 decades. Born in Montreal in 1946, he began his artistic journey in the theater before making a striking transition to the screen in the early 1970s. His deep commitment to storytelling was matched by a rare ability to make audiences both laugh and reflect. Best known for his iconic portrayal of Bob Elvis Gratton, later immortalized as Elvis Gratton, Pulan created, alongside director Pierre Falardeau, a character that was much more than a comedic impersonator. Elvis Gratton was a satirical mirror held up to society, cleverly exposing cultural contradictions with warmth, absurdity, and unflinching honesty. These films and the subsequent television series earned cult status, cementing Pulan as one of Quebec's most resonant voices. Beyond the Gratton series, Pulan delivered acclaimed performances in works like The Crime of Ovide Plouffe, Camion, and Minuit le Soir. He also co-directed films, wrote scripts, and brought layered, deeply human characters to life with authenticity and grace. His versatility and thoughtfulness made him both a treasured collaborator and a respected public figure. Julian Pulan passed away on January 4, 2025, at the age of 78 in hospital. While his family chose not to disclose the cause, his influence continues to radiate through generations of artists and audiences. His legacy endures, not only in the roles he played, but in the meaningful questions he helped raise through his art. For those who admired him, Julian Pulan remains a symbol of courage, creativity, and cultural pride. Jack Lilly was a beloved American stuntman, actor, and cowboy spirit, whose life journey reads like a love letter to Hollywood's golden age of westerns. Born on August 15, 1933, in Hughes Springs, Texas, and raised in North Hollywood, Jack's life was steeped in horses and movies from the very beginning. His father rented horses to film studios, and by 14, Jack had already found his place on set, a horseback extra in the Durango Kid films. A Navy veteran and proud member of SAG since 1955, Jack built a career that spanned more than 280 film and television credits. From Bonanza and Gunsmoke to Blazing Saddles and Three Amigos, his work was marked by fearless physicality, deep dedication, and a quiet professionalism that earned the trust of legends like Clint Eastwood and Michael Landon. Perhaps most fondly, he's remembered by generations of fans for his work on Little House on the Prairie, where he served not only as a stuntman, but as a mentor, stagecoach driver, and guiding presence behind the scenes. In his later years, Jack faced Alzheimer's disease, a condition that gently dimmed his memories, but never dulled the affection of those around him. He passed peacefully on March 19, 2025, at the age of 91, at the Motion Picture and Television Country House and Hospital in Woodland Hills, California. Jack is survived by his 3 sons, Clay, Clint, and Ben, all of whom followed in his footsteps in the stunt world, along with 5 grandchildren and 6 great-grandchildren. His granddaughter, Savannah, called him Papa, a name that speaks volumes about the love and legacy he leaves behind. Jack Lilly's life was a story of loyalty, laughter, horses, and heart, and the trail he blazed will long be remembered.
Be long till you'd be number one, that we'd have lots of money and we'd have lots of...
Jan Shepard, a radiant presence from the golden era of television and film, graced American screens with elegance, heart, and a resilient spirit. She passed away peacefully at the age of 96 from pneumonia brought on by respiratory failure, leaving behind a legacy filled with warmth, talent, and enduring charm. Born in Quakertown, Pennsylvania in 1928, Shepard was valedictorian, a drum majorette, and a passionate performer even in her school days. She made her way to Los Angeles in 1949, chasing her dreams with determination. Sharing a modest apartment with future Gunsmoke star Amanda Blake, Shepard balanced secretarial work with acting classes at the Pasadena Playhouse. Her career blossomed with early television roles before she found her niche in the world of westerns, appearing in over 30 beloved series like Rawhide, The Virginian, and Gunsmoke. Her presence was both commanding and kind, equally at home in dusty frontier towns or heartfelt family dramas. Jan's most cherished film role came in 1958's King Creole, where she starred as Mimi, the devoted sister to Elvis Presley's character. The bond between Shepard and Presley extended off-screen, and she often spoke of him with affection, recalling his kindness and playful sense of humor. Later, she delivered a powerful performance in Third of a Man, a bold film exploring mental health, and continued working in television until the 1970s. Married to actor Ray Boyle for nearly 70 years, their love story was as enduring as her career. Jan Shepard's life was one of grace, perseverance, and artistry. Her gentle voice and kind eyes are forever etched into the memories of audiences who grew up with her, and she remains a treasured part of American entertainment history. Carol D'Andrea was a luminous spirit of the American stage, remembered most for her iconic performance as Velma in the original 1957 Broadway production of West Side Story, a role she would later reprise in the beloved 1961 film. Born in Altoona, Pennsylvania in 1937, Carol's path to the spotlight was marked by early tragedy, the loss of her parents in a car accident. But with unwavering determination, she moved to New York at just 16 to pursue her dream, turning down a college scholarship to follow her heart. Her breakout role in West Side Story placed her among an elite group of 6 performers to appear in both the Broadway and film versions. In 1959, she was also cast as Dainty June in Gypsy, further establishing her place in the golden era of musical theater. Though she eventually stepped back from the stage to raise a family with actor Robert Morse, Carol never left the world of performance behind. In her later years, she found renewed purpose as an acting coach, mentoring countless young performers with the same passion and precision she once brought to the stage. Even amid health challenges, including heart failure, which ultimately led to her peaceful passing on March 11, 2025, Carol continued teaching up until just a week before her final curtain call. She passed away at her Santa Monica home at the age of 87, fittingly on the 44th anniversary of her sobriety, a milestone she cherished as a second chance at life. Carol D'Andrea's story is one of resilience, grace, and enduring artistry. Her legacy lives on in the performances she gave, the students she inspired, and the joy she brought to audiences across generations. Breaking news. She's not just a voice. She's not just a holiday tradition. She's a survivor, a songwriter, and a woman who turned her pain into platinum. Today, we explore the extraordinary journey of Mariah Carey, a name synonymous with vocal excellence, timeless hits, and above all, resilience. What does Mariah Carey mean to you? Share your thoughts in the comments as we celebrate the diva, the icon, and the woman behind the spotlight. Born on March 27, 1969, in Huntington, New York, Mariah Carey's road to stardom was paved with both talent and trials. Raised by a single mother, an opera singer who instilled in her the value of music, Carey faced discrimination and instability at a young age due to her mixed-race heritage. But those early struggles would later infuse her lyrics with depth and emotion, the very qualities that set her apart in a crowded industry. In 1990, the world heard her voice for the first time, and it changed everything. Her debut album, Mariah Carey, introduced the world to a singer with an astounding 5-octave range and a sound that was as technically masterful as it was emotionally raw. Vision of Love became an anthem not just for love, but for hope, especially for young women of color dreaming of more. Over the next 3 decades, Carey would rise to become one of the best-selling music artists in history. With 19 Billboard Hot 100 #1 singles, more than any solo artist, and timeless ballads like Hero, Always Be My Baby, and We Belong Together, she redefined pop and R&B. And of course, no holiday season is complete without the joyful declaration, "All I want for Christmas is you." But behind the dazzling lights and chart-topping records was a woman fighting personal battles few knew about. In 2018, Mariah Carey courageously revealed she had been living with bipolar disorder. For years, she masked her pain behind music and glamour, fearing stigma and misunderstanding. By speaking out, she gave a voice to millions who suffer in silence, proving that vulnerability is not weakness, it is strength. And her challenges did not end there. From vocal nodules, a condition she has managed since childhood, to performance pressure, tabloid scrutiny, and strained relationships, Carey's resilience has been tested time and again, yet she continues to rise, always singing, always shining. Most recently, in late 2024, Carey was forced to cancel several dates of her Merry Christmas One and All tour due to illness. Fans were devastated, but even in disappointment, her honesty stood out. In a heartfelt message, she expressed, "I never want to miss a moment with my fans, especially during this time of year. But my health must come first." The decision was met with empathy and support, especially as fans noticed she had seemed fatigued during her Las Vegas residency. The residency, titled The Celebration of Mimi, was a tribute to her iconic 2005 comeback album, The Emancipation of Mimi, which marked a turning point in her career. That album, and now the residency, are both celebrations of a woman reclaiming her narrative. Beyond her music, Carey's influence is deeply personal to her fans. She is a mother of twins, an advocate for mental health, and a mentor to younger artists. In 2025, she was honored with the iHeartRadio Icon Award, where she paid tribute to her late mother, calling her the first voice I ever heard, and the one that taught me how to use mine. And Mariah's voice continues to evolve. She recently collaborated with Ariana Grande and Mooney Long, bringing her signature style to a new generation of listeners. Always the innovator, Carey balances legacy with evolution, holding onto her roots while continuing to bloom. But even legends face criticism. In early 2025, there was mild controversy surrounding her Las Vegas performances, with some fans commenting on her energy levels. True to form, Mariah responded not with defensiveness, but with grace, reminding the world that she is not a machine. She is a human being, an artist, and a mother doing her best in the public eye. So where is Mariah Carey now? She stands exactly where she always has, at the intersection of power and vulnerability, elegance, and authenticity. Her story is not just about #1 hits, sparkling gowns, or whistle notes. It is about perseverance. It is about turning pain into poetry. It is about a woman who broke barriers and still sings through them. For those who grew up listening to her songs, Mariah Carey is more than music. She is memory, emotion, and hope wrapped in melody. Whether you first heard her on cassette in the 90s or streamed her latest remix on your phone, her voice has likely touched your life in some way. As we reflect on her incredible journey, we are reminded that true greatness is not defined by perfection, but by persistence. And Mariah Carey is, without a doubt, the very definition of persistence wrapped in platinum. What is your favorite Mariah Carey moment? Was it the note that gave you chills, the lyric that healed a wound, or the Christmas song that brought your family together? Let us know in the comments, and if her story has inspired you, please like this video and subscribe for more tributes to the artists who move us. One note, one lyric, one breath at a time. Thank you, Mariah, for the music, the message, and the magic.